Robert Pattinson and Zendaya are in 3 movies together this year. This, Dune, and the Odyssey. And mark my words, at the end of the year, when it's all said and done, the drama will be the best one. I really loved this movie. I only watched one trailer. I'm basically in the tank for Pattinson at this point, and Zendaya has really grown on me. Still, I didn't expect to be this impressed. The drama follows a couple in the final week before their wedding. Things are going smoothly until a dinner tasting with their maid of honor and best man. They keep drinking, and the maid of honor suggests they all share the worst thing they've ever done. The first 3 go, then Emma, Zendaya, drops something that completely shocks everyone, especially her fiancé, Charlie. How could she have done that? How could she have kept that from me? Do I really even know my fiancé? Learning such a bombshell 1 week before the wedding sends Charlie into a tailspin, and thus the drama begins. I'm not going to say what she reveals because I went in blind and I think you should too, but also the movie is not just about Emma's secret. It's more that is a complex, thorny catalyst for all the things that the movie really wants to get into. And there's a lot of interesting things going on in this movie. It explores honesty and authenticity in relationships. Are you presenting the real you to the world, to your family and friends, to your spouse? And then there's some natural follow-ups. Can you ever truly know someone? How much of your past do you owe another person? Is it okay to keep things to yourself? Or does real intimacy require full transparency? The movie is also a lot about empathy. There's empathy required on the audience's part. Can you understand this character without simply judging them? But also in the script, Charlie says repeatedly that one of the qualities he loves about Emma the most is her empathy. Well, given what she did, how can that be true? Well, you just got to watch the movie. The drama is also about moving on and starting over. Emma has clearly had years to process her past and, in her own way, move forward. The others haven't. They're reacting to this news in real time. And that creates interesting tension because Charlie and the best friend treat this information like it's their business. And the movie leaves room to question whether they're actually justified in that. If it's not clear yet, this is a very psychological movie, and it puts the characters through some real mental strain, which makes it a great showcase for performances, and Pattinson and Zendaya are both excellent. Even though the reveal belongs to Zendaya's character, the movie is much more about how Charlie processes it. He gets the messier, more vulnerable material, and unsurprisingly, Pattinson crushes it. But I don't want to shortchange Zendaya. She's becoming one of my favorite actresses. Between this, Challengers, and Dune, she brings this effortless gravity and presence. And, you know, in some ways, maybe it's a little too easy for the audience to empathize with her character because it's easy to like Zendaya. Now that I think about that, that actually might be a bit of a flaw of the movie. I'll have to think about that some more. Yeah, anyways, they call this type of movie a two-hander because there's 2 main characters. But Alana Haim is also great as the maid of honor, and she plays a really important role because in a lot of ways, the movie is just as much to do with her character, or rather people like her, as it is about either of the leads. The movie is rich with ideas and characters, but it's also just plain entertaining and well-made. From the start, I loved the style, especially the editing. In the first 5 minutes before the title card, we see Charlie writing his wedding speech, and the film uses that to jump through quick flashbacks of his relationship with Emma. It's a really clever, efficient way to get you invested in the relationship before everything starts to unravel. There's also some surreal, dreamlike moments, which are really appropriate because Charlie completely gets in his own head. Overall, the editing is really contemporary and just feels very confident, and it adds a lot. The movie is also surprisingly funny. The director clearly understands the difference between comic relief and making light of something serious. Going in, I didn't know much, but in hindsight, I clearly was always going to love this movie because it shares a ton of DNA with Gone Girl, one of my favorite movies. It also has a lot in common with Sanctuary, which is a really underseen movie, but is one of my favorites from the past several years. The drama is exactly the kind of story that we need movie stars for. For one, they help get the movie seen, but also they can elevate a script that could have been tricky with lesser actors. I gave this 4.5 stars on Letterboxd, which is pretty rare for me to do seeing a movie for the first time, but I think the drama really deserves it. I highly recommend seeing this in theaters if you haven't. And if you have, let me know what you thought about it in the comments. And make sure to subscribe so that you can see my next video.